Hey y'all, how you doing? It is Thanksgiving Day. I just woke up, so I'm feeling a little crusty right now. Let me wipe the cold out my eye. But I wanted to get on here to express my thankfulness and my gratitude. Now, I'm not into Thanksgiving in the ways that I used to be. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Shout out to Hove. But I wanted to reflect on where I was last Thanksgiving and let y'all know that our lives can change so much in the course of 1 year. Last Thanksgiving, I had found out just a couple weeks before that I had breast cancer. And I was an emotional wreck, y'all. And I was with my in-laws. And the only people who knew that I had cancer were my husband, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. Everybody else who was there did not know. And I was having excruciating pain in my underarm because my lymph node that was affected by cancer was really, really swollen, and it hurt when I moved my arm, hurt when I laughed too hard. I was in pain and just holding it all in. And a cousin asked me about my writing. She said, yeah, I noticed you're not writing as much. What's going on? And I told her, I have chronic pain because that was something I did have going on all last year. And it's, slowed down my activity. As she looked at me and she said, that is not your portion. That is not what God wants for you. You are healed. You're going to be healed. And she went on to tell me about the parable of the leper in the Bible, in the book of Luke. I'm no biblical scholar, so I'm not going to tell y'all word for word what happened. But in the parable, if I remember, and if I'm saying it wrong, y'all put it in the comments. Jesus was traveling, and he was traveling through a town where there were lepers, and she explained to me just what leprosy did to people's bodies and how lepers used to separate themselves, not because they were embarrassed by society, but because they didn't want to affect their loved ones. And a leper went up to Jesus and asked to be healed. And Jesus healed, or maybe it was multiple, I don't know, y'all. But basically the the moral to the story was that Jesus healed one of the lepers, but like he was fully restored when he went and told everybody about the miracle. And she told me that there's a difference between healing and restoration. Healing is just being returned, whatever you had going on is gone. Restoration is when you are you have everything that you had before and more. And I had so many fears in my head about breast cancer. I mean, number one, I thought I was going to die. But I was also worried about, what if I have to go through chemotherapy? What if I have to lose my breasts? What if? And even though I was worried, I followed my cousin's advice. And I started sharing I'm getting a knot in my throat, think about it. She said, restoration is in my praise. So I committed to sharing my story and praising God every time something good happened. And a year later, aside from death, I went through everything I was most afraid of. And I'm so much better. I'm so much better, y'all. My stress level, down. My joy, up. My abundance, up. My support, up. My life, elevated. Whew. Illness was not my portion. And yeah, I'm still sitting here with one titty. But hey, this shit gonna be restored in January when I get my implant put back in. But I'm so thankful for God. What could have been the worst year of my life turned out to be one of the best. And I thank God. I thank God. I thank God for y'all. I thank God for just where my life has gone. And breast cancer took away a lot, but I gained so much more. So wanted to share that story in case it inspires anybody. Let me get off of here and start cooking. But much love to everybody. If this is a day that does not bring you joy, I pray that this video does. I pray that my story does. And for everybody who is in grief, it's okay. It's okay. Let yourself feel. Let yourself feel, because if you don't, it might manifest itself as something else a few years later. So cry it out, baby. Love y'all. Much love. Take care. Bye-bye.